Hey guys, this is Skylar. I am completely blind. I'm autistic and I have a chronic heart condition. Today I'm going to be opening up, excuse me. Today I'm going to be opening up about a very um kind of difficult time in my life. So please do not leave any, mean or bad comments or sleazy comments, okay? Just if you can comment, but just please be, nice and understanding, okay? The way that I would be towards you. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how I became a goosebump addict. You heard me right. Goosebump addict. Now, most people, when they think of the word addiction, they think of drugs, alcohol, things like that. That's not the case for me. Okay. Well, for starters, I'm a Christian, so I would never. I don't do drugs or alcohol. And second, I have a heart condition, so yeah. My addiction is goosebumps, and I'm going to tell you how it got started, because it got started with a very traumatic time of my life. All right, so let's rewind all the way back to 2002. I was only 11 years old. I was living with my uncle, okay? I'm not going to say who he was, not going to say any names, just Uncle. Let's call him Uncle Tom, okay? Just as a pseudonym. I was living with Uncle Tom, and Tom was very mean, okay? He was not like physically abusive to us, but he would just do mean things. And like, I would wake up to Tom's son and wife fist fighting over something that Tom and his sons did. Keep in mind, I was only 11 years old when this story came to pass, okay? And yeah, so I had just gotten diagnosed with autism a year ago, so we were still learning how to cope with it. So this era of my life was pretty traumatizing. Also, Tom found out that I did not like the N word, and so he would use it purposefully towards, or not so much towards me, but like in a sentence at me where I can hear, and so would Tom's two sons. And they were just like really mean. My mom says that he's mean, that he does really, kind of evil things to his wife still to this day. All right, so this situation was very stressful. My brother, that's when my brother moved out to be with my father. So it was me and my mom and my uncle living, and his sons and wife. So I didn't really have anything to help me to relax while I was there. So I kind of did what I had to do, so to speak, but it was kind of accidental the way I discovered it, right? So, okay, before we moved to Uncle Tom's, I was hooked on the letter Z, as in Zulu. I used to like words like Zimbabwe, zebra, zucchini, Zulu, words that started with the letter Z. Okay, I'm not so much hooked on Z words anymore, but I used to be. One of my most favorite Z words back then was zombie. Okay, and but when I was 11, okay, through cause and effect, I figured out what I would do is I would imagine in my head a zombie voice, which is kind of like a ghost voice, but with a little bit more vibrato and deeper. I would imagine a zombie voice saying one of my favorite words. So a zombie voice, like I said, is kind of like a ghost voice, deeper with a little bit of vibrato. Okay? And I would imagine a zombie voice saying one of my favorite words. in my head. Okay, when I did this, boom, I broke out in goosebumps every single time. So it was cause and effect. If I do this, this will happen. If I imagine a zombie voice saying one of my favorite words, I will break out in goosebumps. And not only did I physically break out in goosebumps, but I felt, well, I don't know how to explain this. I felt relaxed and high, okay? Like a relaxed high. Like, well, just that. So I felt relaxed and high, so I kept doing it because I needed that feeling because I was living in a very stressful situation. And yeah, I was only a kid, so I needed something to help me to relax and, I don't know, go to sleep at night maybe. So I started doing the zombie ritual in my head every single night. Literally every night. Not even joking. So, it kind of, even when we left Tom's house, I still kept doing it because, that's when I got addicted. So, I just kept going. And it actually worked. It helped me to relax just like it did when I was in Tom's house. So, as I grew older, I kind of got more and more favorite words. Like, I have favorite words for every letter of the alphabet, probably. So, yeah, I got more and more favorite words as I grew up. Got more and more, I learned more words in general. I got smarter. Therefore, I got new favorite words or more of them. So, I had more words to, do that zombie thing with. So, it kind of made it more interesting. Also, that was my first year of ever going to a haunted house. My school I don't go to school anymore because I'm an adult, but my school, it was a school for the blind. They had a recreational center, and on every Halloween, they did Halloween parties. And when I turned 11, I was finally old enough to go to the haunted house. So, there. Yeah. So, also, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, but when I was also that same year, I had a kind of substitute staff. Her name was Bethany. And she was a substitute staff on the bus because the school for the blind is like 3 hours from where we live. So I had to take a bus to school and for the whole entire week on Sunday, and then on Friday be bused back home. Anyways, so Bethany, the substitute staff, she was kind of loose as far as rules go. I mean, if it wasn't life or death, she wasn't going to get mad. I mean, she still was strict about the safety rules, which is good, but other than that, she was just chill. And me and Bethany, we were kind of, well, friends, I guess you'd call it. And I would talk to her about all my special interests and stuff like that, favorite words and things. And yeah, so. And for a short period of time, I used to like the sound of the name Saddam. Now, I did not like what he did, okay? I did not stand behind him because he was not a nice man, but I liked the sound of his name, okay? And so, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. One time I met Bethany. She was, for some reason, in a classroom. I don't know why she was there. But when I was going to my classroom, we kind of crossed paths, okay? And I was hooked, like I said, on the word Saddam for a short amount of time. And Bethany said it to me in a zombie voice, which is like a ghost voice with more bravado. OMG, I feel like my face is turning red. And I broke out in goosebumps when she did that. So, yeah. Let's fast forward to 2016. In 2016, I was trying to be more Christian. So I gave up zombies and some other adult habits that we're not going to mention here. And so, yeah. And so, when I gave up zombies, I kind of was going through goosebump withdrawals because my body was used to getting goosebumps every night, and all of a sudden they just weren't coming because I wasn't doing the zombies anymore because I'd given them up. So I started coming up with what I called ZFAs, which are zombie-free alternatives. Basically, a ZFA is just a way for me to get goosebumps without the zombies. Okay. One of the ways that I learned how to do so is what I call creepies. Now, creepies is what I call it when somebody like super gently crawls their fingertips across your skin, kind of like the way a spider moves. It really feels good when somebody does it on your back or up your arm. It is OMG, it feels so good. And that kind of, gentle touch makes me break out in goosebumps. Also, if you take a makeup brush, because makeup brushes are really soft, and like you gently rub it across your skin, it will give you goosebumps. And that kind of thing relaxes me like into no end. Seriously, I call it euphoric corpse syndrome because I'm so relaxed. I just lay there like a corpse. Also, soft fabrics like fleece type of textures. If you like gently rub them across your skin, that would probably give you goosebumps. And so yeah, there's lots of ways. Also, I figured out in 2016 as well that if I have somebody whisper one of my favorite words in my ear, that gives me goosebumps. Especially if their lips are like super close to the entrance of my ear canal, like really up close and personal. I call it mouth to ear. When somebody whispers one of my favorite words into my ear canal that close, it feels really good to me. And you guessed it, I break out in goosebumps. Now, there's a science behind all this madness. I didn't know this back when I was 11 because I didn't have tablets back then. But goosebumps release dopamine into your brain. Google it. Dopamine is a chemical that your brain naturally produces that makes you feel good. It releases it during activities such as eating sugar, doing recreational drugs, or having intimacy between a husband and wife, if you know what I mean. So things like that release dopamine. Well, so do goosebumps. So it makes sense why I'm addicted, scientifically speaking, because the things that I just mentioned, recreational drugs and intercourse, release dopamine, and so does goosebumps. So even now that I'm away from Tom, I still give or try to give myself goosebumps every night around the time when it's time for me to go to sleep. Especially now that I'm insomniac. I mean, it's not the end-all cure-all by any means, especially for insomnia, but it does help me to relax. I've seen post after post after post after post saying that you need to relax before you try to go to sleep. Well, goosebumps is what helps me to relax. So, yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and God bless.